Krishna. So we will be reciting some prayers before starting. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sa Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So in today's class I will be giving very important messages through two stories. Just two stories. No philosophical discussion today. Only two stories we will be discussing. So एक बार क्या होता है, once there was a king and he was very rich. He had a big kingdom. He had won many states from other kings. He was very royal. He had a lot of treasure, a lot of money, very wealthy, many queens, many children, a very happy king. So there was this one king. So, and yes, he was respectful towards saints, but he was always engrossed in his material enjoyment, in his kingdom. He was always engrossed in that. He never gave time to the self-realization towards understanding who I am. He never gave time to it. So once a saint came in his court. Is everyone comfortable with English? So once a saint came in his court. So the saint, he observed that although this king was very respectful towards him, he wanted to bathe his feet with water. He wanted to offer flowers to the saint. He wanted to offer good food to the saint. He was okay with everything. But the saint observed he was not interested in listening about God consciousness. He was not ready to listen about what is the real purpose of life. This king was not at all ready for this. So saint took an other way out. He asked this king to send a few people from his court, a few of his army men in the state, and ask them to check out that who is the biggest fool? Mahamurkh. So Saint just asked the king that if you do this one service to me, I will be indebted to you. Since he was not ready to listen about God. So Saint asked the king that okay, you do one thing for me and I will be very much pleased with you. You send you send some few people from your court in the entire state and they should check out who is the biggest fool and get the biggest fool in the court right now. So, as instructed by the saint, the king accepted it. So the king sent his few people in the state and they found a person who was actually Murkh. So he was very fool person. And they brought him to the court and presented that person to the saint. And the saint asked, and the king asked the saint, okay, now the person is here. What do you want to do with him? So the saint said, do one thing, give him a stick in his hand. Throughout his life, he will move around the state with the stick in hand and you give him salary. The saint asked the king, you give him salary for this work and he will just hold a stick and just, rotate in the entire state. And give him salary, pension, whatever, on his retirement, everything, you give him all facilities. This is his job. So as instructed by king, instructed by saint, the king agreed to give him salary and this person went on Deshatan. He kept on moving in the entire state with the stick in the hand. So many years passed. After many years, what happened? This king became old with the passage of time. His queens also became old. And now it was the time. The king catched some fatal disease. And he was about to die. He caught that fatal disease, that kind of fatal disease he caught, that he may die any moment. So, he started meeting everyone. He called all his friends, all his relatives, the king. He was on deathbed. He started calling for everyone to meet him. And, everyone was very emotional. Even king himself was very emotional. He may die anytime. And then, suddenly, he thought that I am forgetting one person. This king thought that someone is not coming in my mind. Whom am I forgetting? He was unable to recall. So suddenly, it came in his mind. He met all his ministers. He met everyone. Suddenly, who came in his mind? The Mahamurkh. He said, there was this person. I had sent him on Deshatan, on seeing the entire state. And he had to move around with a stick in his hand. But I haven't met him since long. Call him. So king called this man. So this Mahamurkh came to meet the king. So the king said, okay, now you have done a very faithful job, a very sincere job. I want to thank you for that. It was the order of a saint. That's why we had to do it. And I really appreciate you for all your job that you have done. Practically, he had nothing to do. He had to just move around the state with one stick in his hand. But still, king was thankful to him. So now king told him that I am about to go. So this Murkh asked him, this fool man asked him, where are you going? So king said, yes, I am going permanently somewhere. So this Murkh asked, okay, then you take your queens along. So the king said, no, I cannot take my queens along with me. I have to go alone. So this Murkh said, okay, I think if you cannot take your kings, queens along, you take your sons. They will take care of you. You are so old. You are suffering. So the king said, no, I cannot take my sons also. So he again suggested, okay, you take some relatives along who will take care for you. Said, no, I cannot take any relatives along with me. So now this Murkh understood that king has to go alone. So he said, okay, I think you have to go alone. So it will be better that I arrange a big horse cart for you with strong horses and very beautiful uh, chariot. And you can go on that. I will ask your ministers, they will arrange it. You need not go barefoot. You need not go on walking. So he said, I cannot even take those horses along. I cannot even take the chariot along. I have to go. So the Murkh said, okay, you cannot take anyone along. You cannot take the chariot. You cannot take horses. Do one thing. Take a huge amount of money with you. And some eatables, because you will need them, and since you are going walking, you should have both the things. So take huge amount. I'll arrange for that. I will ask your ministers to give big amounts of money from the treasury so that you can take it along. And you take some eatables with you. That will be good enough. So king said, I know you are a fool, but why do you want to prove it? When I am saying that I cannot take anything along, I'm about to die, then how? I mean, I cannot take my queens along. I cannot take my sons along. I cannot take my relatives along. I cannot take any horses or chariot along. I cannot take money along. I cannot take any eatables along. I just have to go. So now this Murkh understood that he was about to die. So the king asked this Murkh, okay, so since you have done a great service to the kingdom, you followed the instructions of the saint. Now do one thing. Go and search for another person, since you are also an old man now. Now who's speaking up? The king is speaking to whom? The Murkh, the fool person. Said, you are also quite old now. It's difficult for you to carry this stick throughout the state. You go and you search for another Murkh and hand over the stick to you. Hand over the stick to that Murkh. You will get your pension benefits. Your life will be secured now. You be retired and enjoy a retired life. And search a new Murkh to whom you can give the stick. So our kingdom will pay him salary. The new Murkh. So this Murkh said, okay. So he immediately took the hands of the king and handed over the stick to him. And king was enraged and he shouted very badly, you think me to be the biggest fool? You nonsense! How can you dare to do that? I have given you so much of salary without any work, and I am now ready to give you pension also. You have sustained because of the financial support I have given to you, and you are calling me a fool? You are a nonsense. So this saint said, this fool said, my majesty, you have yourself proved that you are the biggest fool. How you have yourself proved that you are the biggest fool? He said, did you not know? Now the Murkh is speaking. Did you not know that death would come someday? And you have to give up your life. You have to give up your children. You have to give up the property. You have to give up all that you have accumulated so far. Were you not aware of this? Did you not know that, now who's speaking up? The Murkh is speaking up. Did you not know that you cannot even carry a broken needle without any hole with yourself? You cannot even carry that. Did you not know all these things when you were the king? You were well aware about it, that you won't be able to carry anything. Still, you are so full that you spent your entire time in just accumulating, defeating other kings, gaining the properties, earning the wealth, taking care of the family. You spent all your time in this. You were never inquisitive. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. You were never inquisitive about who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? And why we are suffering when we don't want to suffer? You never inquired about it. Instead, you were always busy in Athato Indriya Tripti Jigyasa. Always busy in sense gratification. Were you not aware that you are temporary? Were you not aware that whatever surroundings you are accumulating, it's all be washed away like, of sand particles, like they come together on the seashore for some time, and with the wash of the tide, they are separated and they never meet again. Were you not aware? You were aware about everything. You were still completely infatuated by the material belongings that you have. Now the king, all of a sudden, he realized that this man is talking of the correct thing. He's talking of the correct philosophy. All of a sudden, he got down off his bed and had a hold of his lotus feet. And he said, "Tell me who you are. We considered you a fool, but you are not a fool. You are a very intelligent person. Tell me who you really are. I cannot consider you a fool. You are an Atma Gyani Vyakti. You know everything." So this king, this man, the other man, he immediately said, "I am the disciple of that saint who had asked you to get a murk. And by the arrangement of a saint, your persons caught me. I behaved like a fool, and they brought me to you to give you this lesson. And after such a long period of time, you have got the real lesson." Then this king inquired about, now I am on deathbed, what I should do. So this disciple of the saint, he said, who was considered Murkh earlier, he said, "See, now the time has gone. You don't really have anything meaningful now. Now till the time you are alive, you are on deathbed. Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare." So actually, who was the Mahamurkh? The king or the saint? Who was the Mahamurkh? The king was the Mahamurkh. And similar is our situation, like the king. We think that these material belongings, my education, my job, my family, my relatives, my parents, my wife, my children, they are a source of my security. But the moment you have to leave this body, it won't really make sense. You all have to leave it here, whatever you are accumulating. So the best is doing your prescribed duty in an honest manner. You are a student as of now. Do your prescribed duty in a complete honest manner. Along with, add one thing. We don't ask you to subtract anything. Add one thing. That is very important. God consciousness. Few questions you should be constantly asking. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? And why I don't want to suffer. When I don't want to suffer, I have to suffer. Come out of all stress and chant. You will feel happy. This was the moral of the story. Otherwise, a single shake of earthquake and we all will be over. It's that easy for Krishna. Why we forget ourselves is because of two Shaktis of Maya. Maya basically is at the back of Krishna. So where there is Maya, there is no Krishna. And where there is Krishna, there is no Maya. Krishna Surya Sam, Maya hoya Andhakar. Jahan Krishna, wahan nahi Maya Adhikar. Krishna Surya Sam, Maya hoya Andhakar. Jahan Krishna, wahan nahi Maya Adhikar. That's back of Krishna, Maya. So it's up to you. You want Krishna to face you or you want Maya to face you. So this Maya Shakti of Krishna has two further subparts. Avarnatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti. Did I tell this in last class? Avarnatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti. These are the two Shaktis of Maya. The Avarnatmika Shakti of Maya, like you enter a theater. What is the first thing that happens when you go to see a movie? What is the first thing when you enter the theater? Can you tell me? What is the first thing? No, before the promotions. What is the first thing? Blackout. The lights are turned off. This is the first thing when you enter the theater. This is Avarnatmika Shakti of Maya. It's turning off the Gyan in our life. It's turning off the real identity of ours. Avarnatmika Shakti makes us forget our real identity. Who am I? And we start considering ourselves this body. This is Avarnatmika Shakti. Once we forget our identity, then what happens? The second Shakti of Maya comes into picture. Prakshepatmika Shakti. She starts dragging you into illusion. First you forget that you are the soul. You consider yourself body. The Avarnatmika Shakti will make you forget that you are the soul. You are the body. And then the Prakshepatmika Shakti. What is the second thing that happens in the theater? The movie is turned on. Is it the real life? No. So you go into unreal things. Something that is not real, you accept it to be real. That is because of Prakshepatmika Shakti. Very dangerous situation. But Krishna assures that someone who devotes to Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna assures this, the Maya Shakti does not affect him. He understands that he is the soul, not the body. Alright. Otherwise your situation will be like that king about whom we had discussed. There is one more short story in this context. We'll close at 2:30. That will be fine. There is one more short story in this context. So once there was a very big king. This story comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, not that Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughan. Not that Bharat Maharaj. There was another Bharat Maharaj on whose name this country has been named Bharatvarsh. Not only this country, the entire world was Bharatvarsh at that time. He was Prithvi Raj. He was the Raja of complete Prithvi, complete Bharatvarsh. So this Bharat Maharaj was a very, very opulent king again. Very rich king. He had all opulences. So once, when he was getting little older, earlier the system was, he was a Raj Rishi. Raj Rishi, you understand? Raja bhi or Rishi bhi. He was the king as well as a servitor of the god also. He was a pure devotee. So, उस समय क्या होता था? At that time, kings were like, kings did not have this kind of mentality कि कुर्सी पे ही मरना है. कुर्सी छोड़ देते थे पहले. जैसे ही बेटा तैयार होता था, the kings used to give up the throne and the king used to go out for God realization. They used to understand that this body is temporary. So similarly, Bharat Maharaj, when he saw that his son is mature now, he left the kingdom. He gave up everything to his son and he left the kingdom. And as soon as He left the kingdom, he went in the forest and he started meditating on the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. He started meditating on the names of Krishna, Bharat Maharaj. So, one day what happened while he was meditating on the names of Krishna in the forest, all of a sudden, he saw, from a distant view, he saw that there was one deer who was pregnant, female deer. She was pregnant, and a lion or maybe a tiger was running after her. And all of a sudden, the child fell down from the deer's womb. And the mother deer ran away in some cave, and maybe she died there. And the child started flowing in the water. So Bharat Maharaj saw the entire view. He rushed and he saved the life of the child, the baby deer. He saved his life. And he brought him to his ashram and he started caring for the deer. And with the time, Bharat Maharaj, who had left his entire kingdom, such a royal family, for God realization, he started getting attached in the forest to this just one deer. And with the passage of time, he started giving more time to the deer, taking care of the deer. He was always worried that maybe a wolf would attack, maybe a tiger will attack, maybe a lion will attack and take away the deer. He was always very fearful about it. Bharat Maharaj was very fearful about it. So he could, obviously someone who is constantly caring for something, how can he meditate constantly? And with time, he gave his majority time. A day came when he started giving a majority time on caring for the deer. And he hardly gave time for his spiritual practices. With passage of time, the situation arose. One day, this deer ran away somewhere. And Bharat Maharaj was very sad about it, very morose. He started weeping, he started crying, he cried very badly, and he started searching for the baby deer in the forests. Everywhere he looked for it. And it went to the tune that at certain points, he got some fatal injuries also on his body while searching for the deer, but he didn't care for that. And then, all of a sudden, he fell down, and when he was about to close his eyes, he saw that deer was coming near him, and he died. He smiled and he died seeing the deer. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you remember at the time of your death, you attain that. If you remember a deer, you will become a deer. So now this was the second birth of Bharat Maharaj. He became a deer. He became a deer, and Bharat Maharaj, as soon as he became a deer, the best part that happened to him was Krishna gave him remembrance of his previous life. He remembered that in previous life, he was a big king and he was a Raj Rishi, and he got attached to the deer in the forest and he became a deer. So in this deer's body, he could remember his previous life. This was Krishna's mercy. Now he was very cautious in the deer body. It's just another dress, Prabhu. You're wearing this dress right now. Tomorrow you will be wearing another t-shirt. For soul, this body is just another dress about which you are so possessive. You understand? That's what is the value of this body. It's going to end very soon. And there is no guarantee. It may happen in next 1 hour. Or it may take years. We don't know that. So this deer now started staying in the same ashram where Bharat Maharaj stayed as a mendicant. He stayed there. So the deer started staying in that ashram. And there were some saints over there who were doing tapasya. What he used to eat was only the remnants of the food of the saints, the leftovers. He used to eat that. And the time came when Bharat Maharaj left this body of deer also. Now comes the third life. In this life, he again got the human form. And this time his name was Jad Bharat. Jad Bharat was his name, the third life. And he practically behaved like a Murkh. He had remembrance of his previous two lives. He said, okay, now I have got this precious human form of life once again. Let me behave like a fool so that people think that I am a fool. They don't get attached to me. I don't get attached to people. And internally, I will be just meditating on the names of Krishna throughout my life. And after this life, I'll be going back to Krishna. This was his plan. And he actually behaved like a fool. His brothers, he had 7 brothers. His brothers they didn't give him any share in his property, in their property, in the father's property. He was made to work on the fields like a ass. Throughout the day, he was just working on the fields. And in return, his brothers gave him just, stale food, for food that was not even fit for dogs. His brothers gave him that to eat. And Jad Bharat was never dissatisfied. He understood that I'm not this body. Whatever is happening is by the arrangement of Krishna. And let me concentrate only on his names. I don't need anything for myself. He was very beautiful otherwise. He had, very well-built body, tall, handsome. But he behaved like fools. And the entire world thought that he's a fool person. No one cared for him really. At that time, there was Raja Rahuguna. So once he was working on the field, this Jad Bharat, he was working on the field. And on the palanquin, few do this for King Rahuguna. So he said, yes, I will be able to do. And he replaced that ill man and he carried the palanquin. Now Jad Bharat was very cautious that he should not step even on an ant. He was very cautious about it. So now, the way he was walking, he was just looking at the ground and he was very careful that he should not kill even an ant. He should not be a source of pain for anyone. So in an attempt to save the ants, the way he was walking, again the palanquin was shaking. The King Rahuguna, he got very irritated. He asked to keep the palanquin down. And he shouted on Jad Bharat, you look so well built, you are so strong, can't you carry the palanquin stably? I will put you behind the bars. I can give you the death punishment also, capital punishment I can give you. For the first time in life, Jad Bharat spoke up. He said, today you are the king and I am the servant. We never know when these situations will change, and I will become the king and you will become the servant. You think yourself to be the absolute? You are a nonsense. Today you have this throne, tomorrow someone else will have. Today you have this kingdom, tomorrow someone else will have. You can put me behind the bars, but can you make a solution to your real problems? The repeated cycle of birth and death? Can you be the king permanently? Can you sit on this throne permanently? No, you can't. So you are not powerful enough. So better don't act like that. That's what Jad Bharat. Immediately King Rahuguna, he felt humbled. He understood that this Jad Bharat is not a Murkh. And he fell down, offered his obeisances to Jad Bharat and inquired about God consciousness. And after this life, when Jad Bharat left the body, since he led his life in pure consciousness without any attachments. He got the kingdom of the God. He didn't have to go in the womb of the mother again to suffer the pains of birth. So the point is, we should understand the human form of life that we have now. Should not waste our life just on eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. That's what an animal is also doing. Eating, we also eat, animal also eat. Sleeping, we also sleep, animal also sleeps. Then eating, sleeping, mating, we also have sex life, animal also has sex life. Defending, we also protect ourselves, animal also protect himself. There is no difference practically if you see between ourselves and animals. The only difference is athato brahma jigyasa. Have you ever heard that the dogs on the roads have died out of starvation? Have you ever heard that? A bird died out of starvation. Have you ever heard that? Heard that? Who dies out of starvation? Human beings do die, but animals don't die. So in that sense, if you see, animals are in a better situation than us, and we should think it otherwise also. That Krishna, who is not allowing these animals to die out of starvation, if we become his devotee, will he allow us to die out of starvation? Never. Krishna is not that selfish. There is this statement, live life king size. So what is the meaning of live life king size? Live life king size means understand your real purpose of the life. That's the king size life. Don't die like an ant. Work hard. सब में एक जोश होना चाहिए कि हमें कुछ तो बड़ा करके मरना है, छोटे मोटे में नहीं मरना, एक कीड़े मकोड़े की तरह नहीं मरना. Even this richest of the rich people, let's say Ambanis, Birlas, they will also die someday. Can someone guarantee that they will live permanently? No. Who remembers Dhirubhai Ambani now? Hardly on his birthday and death day. 2 days he is remembered. Rest of the 363 days, do people remember him? No. When you become a devotee, what kind of glory you have? Who remembers Mahatma Gandhi except on 500 rupees note? No one talks about him except on Gandhi Jayanti, and that too because it's an off. So we remember him. We just recall Gandhi Jayanti as Shukri. But what is the glory of a devotee? In every ISKCON temple, Prabhupada left this material world in 1977. What is going on? 2024. How many years? 47 years. There hasn't been a day when at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, at 4:45 a.m. in the morning, devotees, there hasn't been a day when devotees did not jump on the name of Jai Prabhupada. That is the glory of the devotee. 47 years are gone. Still, all the ISKCON temples throughout the world and at many homes of the Grihasthas, early in the morning, Jai Prabhupada, everyone dances on the name of Prabhupada. Does someone dance on the name of Mahatma Gandhi? Jai Mahatma Gandhi, Jai Mahatma Gandhi. Does someone dance like that? No. So if you die like a materialist, even if you are a great man, it's of no use. With the passage of time, you will be forgotten. But if you are a devotee, with the passage of time, no one will forget you. This is for sure. जिंदगी के साथ भी, जिंदगी के बाद भी, ये भक्ति ही है जो साथ जाएगी. Understand? So this is it about our today's class. Any questions? Any comments? Any clarifications? Or we can close. No questions? All understood? Everyone will chant? Okay, commit me. How many rounds you will chant daily?
Not much.
Still, how much? 1, 2?
So used to do. I used to chant like when I'm here I didn't chant like 4 rounds. Only 4 months.
Can you chant 1 round daily?
No.
You can't give 8 minutes to Krishna?
Yes, I know.
You can? So you can chant 1 round daily?
I can, but I'm not that much dedicated like now.
So what? You can give 8 minutes to Krishna. Krishna has given you how many minutes in a day? Tell me. 24 hours is how many minutes? 1440 minutes. Can't you give him 8 minutes in return? You can give. What is your name?
Satvik.
Satvik. So your name is so good. You're a Satvik person. So you should chant 1 round daily. He's there in which WhatsApp group, Abhishek bro? Yeah. Will you be able to chant 1 round daily?
I will try.
You'll try today onwards. And next week when we meet, we'll meet again next week. You're here next Saturday. When we meet, then update me. Alright? Just 1 second, let me close this.